Hello, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary. Welcome to From the Heart.
Orlando is widely known for its tourist spots and attractions, but many people don't know about its thriving arts community.
We're happy to introduce to you talented artists and passionate leaders whose ideas are shaping our arts community. How do they create and why? And how will Orlando benefit from a growing arts presence?
On each episode, we'll meet guests who are influential leaders and artists who are truly making a difference.
From the Heart.
Hello everyone, welcome to From the Heart. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary.
And we're excited to bring to you all that's new and good when it comes to the arts in Central Florida.
Today we're talking with Beth Marshall, producing artistic director of Beth Marshall Presents. We look forward to learning about her and what led Beth to her work in the theater and the performing arts.
Beth has produced and directed productions that have been performed all over Central Florida, including the Orlando Fringe Festival. Welcome, Beth.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me here.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Beth, how did Beth Marshall Presents begin?
Well, I've been in Orlando for 20 years now, and I have been an independent producer that whole time in some capacity under many different names. And I kind of just got tired of going formerly known as this company, that company, this company. So I decided to just brand under my own name, and that's why the company is named with my name.
What do you produce?
I produce a lot of different kind of theater, multimedia performance artwork, and touring works that are usually original, that go on a festival circuit, often a fringe circuit, but not exclusively. And then I also produce classical or traditional modern contemporary works that are in more of a traditional theatrical setting. And I do events and school works with teams of all different Orange County and Seminole County schools, and I coach them. And this year we just recently added to our mission statement that we're bridging the gap for teen actors and directors and writers into the professional world.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's a mix of all of that stuff, sort of a potpourri, if you will, in the season.
So you do absolutely nothing, is what you're
Nothing,
saying.
not at all, not
So
a
you are
zero.
so well respected in our theater community, and whenever the name Beth Marshall is attached to something, you know it's going to be quality and excellence. How have you have the reputation, how have you gotten to that reputation? What are the things that you do when you produce that allow things to be quality and of excellence?
Well, I've never lowered my artistic standard, even if I don't have the budget to always accommodate that.
That's great advice.
And I make it work. I find a way to make it work. I think a big part of it is that I'm resilient and resourceful. And I have the ability to wear many different hats. So sort of pre-fringe in the late 90s and early 2000s, I was known more around town as an actor and director and teacher. And then in 2003, when I kind of became the associate producer of Fringe, and then 2004, producing artistic director of Fringe, there through 2011, it was all very Fringe-centric, even though I was doing other stuff. Beth Marshall Presents came about in 2008 and started full seasons in 2011 and 12 once I left Orlando Fringe. Prior to that, we did partial seasons and events here and again, but 2008 is the start year. A lot of hard work and a lot of using every resource that I've come across through all my past lives to get me here is sort of how it all happened.
What do you think is collaborations and partnerships, I think, are a big thing for you too? Like you present at the Garden Theater, and why are those so important to your success?
There are many reasons. Partially, it's artistic. Different places in town offer special branding that works with whatever that project that I'm doing at that moment is. So that's why I partner with them. Sometimes it's financial, and they offer me the best deal, or it's the best deal for the company overall to make it happen because I'm for profit. So as an arts organization that is for profit, and having been an arts leader that has only run non-for-profit, it's a very different ball game, and those partnerships matter on a whole different level. What is expected and what they want and need when they invest money into a company or the show or an artist or a work, a project. It's a different expectation than it is in the nonprofit world.
Tell our listeners the difference between that. What is the difference between nonprofit and for-profit when it comes to your company?
Well, when it comes to, in general, a big part of that is that I'm working to make a profit as opposed to not making a profit.
Yes,
It's either eating or not
Right, yeah.
eating.
Eating or not eating. And there's less reliance on grants when you're a for-profit company.
Donations. And all those
Donations.
things.
I still get a fair amount of donations on a smaller scale, but on the bigger kind of corporate scales, it's a different ballgame. So it's more like investors and sponsors and people that are interested in specific projects versus the entire season or company as a whole.
So when you are not for profit, sometimes you have a bit of obligation to those that are funding you certain grants.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
obligations,
understood.
and
Okay.
an even bigger obligation sometimes to the service of as a community leader and the board of directors who are essentially your boss, right? So I'm not. The bottom line is I'm not too good with authority. So
Really?
Yes.
Really? An artist not good with authority?
Let's get to the bottom of that.
bottom line is that. So, that is in all honesty, it's a huge part of why I didn't join the nonprofit sector. Because the mission of nonprofit work is really who I am and what I'm about. And a lot of BMP's socially political pieces all come from that. And if you look at my season, in the course of the season, over half of it, I'm doing a kickback giveaway to some organization. Last year's season, we did the Trayvon Martin Foundation. We always do the Orlando Fringe. It's such a big part of my heart. We have a scholarship now that is for District 3 thespians that is given to a teen in the world of arts and any form of arts, generally going to someone who wears multiple hats, And so we believe in giving back in the same way a nonprofit believes in giving back. It's just that I don't have to go through, I think, as much bureaucracy, as many people to get to be able to do something,
you do.
right? And that is a big, big deal for me as an artist, to not feel ever that I am having my wings clipped even when I'm having to work in with a certain boundary or budget or deadline or
Well, it
criteria.
sounds like it's the best of both worlds because you're getting the artistic freedom that you need as a for-profit to be able to do what you feel like you need to do to accomplish your goals, but you're also, as a nonprofit, you're giving back and you're always, giving back to the community. So I think that's kind of the best of both worlds.
I have one more question for this segment for you.
Yes.
Our mission here is to want people who perhaps don't get out to theater to go see a theatrical show, who don't go to a concert or see a choir to go see a concert choir. So tell us why we should come see Beth Marshall Presents.
Well, because there's not one kind of art that consistently happens in our season, there's a little more variety in a potpourri of branding than maybe with some other companies. So you might have a very hardcore social political cause that you don't agree with as one show. And then on another show, you have an educational piece, like what we do with our partnership with Play in a Day, which always kicks off our season. We put on short plays in the course of 24 hours, and we incorporate it with people who normally don't get to work with each other, and teens, okay? So it's more of a general audience feel that happens over at Lake Howell High School. We've been doing it there for 4 years now. They're one of our partners, okay? If you want more traditional, classic, or modern, contemporary works that are more in a traditional setting, that's our partnership with the Garden Theater. Usually I'm doing some kind of drama over there, but not always. Upcoming, I have The Whale, and so that is our main stage that's happening at the Garden this 2015-16 season. And then we do off-the-wall crazy events like Beatnik Cubed, which is the third in our installment that happens at the venue down on Virginia Drive that has poetry and variety and visual art and sort of multimedia performance art explosion that's a flashback to the 60s. All of these things happen. Then an original work that I have written and am directing called The Wishing Well Girl, that is a gothic fairy tale-esque sort of Samara from the Ring meets Wednesday Addams meets Tim Burton. And it's not quite a play, and it's not quite just poetry or performance art. There are these vignettes about this little girl who wants to make the wrongs in the world right with her sidekick, the cat rat bat.
Beth, we are running out of time, but how can someone contact you?
By my website, BethMarshallPresents.com. That's 2 L's, 1 S.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
It's been a pleasure talking with you, and we're going to be back in just a little while.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Beth.
Unfortunately, our segment with Beth has come to an end, but we are going to be back, and when we return, we're going to hear about the journey Beth has taken prior to her work here as part of the Orlando theater scene. From the heart.